Prayer has never won nor lost a war. Cathar Love 170. Prayer has never won nor lost a war. People have said to me, John, I pray for you. Look, save your breath. Pray for somebody else if you want to, but don't pray for me. If you want to wish me good health, happiness, send good well-being towards me, I'll accept that. If you were to, this is your thought of good thoughts of goodwill, thoughts of whatever, positive thoughts that you're sending towards me, yes, because it's coming from you. But if you're praying to some deity, I won't go into whichever deity, I don't care. Save your breath. But if you offer me something, you're sending good thoughts towards me. Well, John, I enjoyed that. That's good. I wish you all the best. I wish you all the best for 2022. I wish you all the best for your health, wealth and happiness, or whatever. I'll accept that, and I appreciate it. And it's got some power. But if you're going, oh, I'm going to pray to this God or this deity or that saint for you, forget it. Save your breath. In my entire lifetime, I've never seen anybody's prayers answered when they prayed to a deity or whatever. In the Battle of the Somme, in the First World War, when 50,000 souls were lost. This is on the British side in the morning, and then they said another 25,000 were killed in the afternoon. Now that's not counting the Germans on the other side. All Christians, how many of those before the battle didn't pray, Lord, if you get me out of this, I'll do this or I'll do that, or well, who knows what they prayed. It didn't matter. And then the ones that did survive, was that due to their prayers? Well, maybe, but they were killed the next day anyway. Don't you think the people, those in the Holocaust, prayed? Oh my, how they must have prayed. Men, women, children. Prayed to be out of that situation. Unfortunately, we know at least 6 million died. You can go, it doesn't matter, I'm just picking a couple of things. It doesn't matter what it is. The Titanic went down. The ones who were saved, it's a miracle, my prayers were answered. So the other couple of thousand or whatever it was that went down, their prayers weren't answered. Yours is more special than his. No. But prayer, now, I call prayer transcendental begging. Please God, please St. Anthony, give me this, give me that, give me this, or give it to somebody else. Praise St. Anthony. This to me is begging. It's transcendental begging, but it's still begging. If you want money, go and look for a job. Write to your rich auntie, whatever. If you're in a battle, make sure your weapons clean, in good operation order. You've got your bullets and you've sharpened your bayonet. In other words, take action. But to me, rather than praying, I pray that there's an end to poverty, Lord, or whatever it is. Hey, that to me is useless. Help somebody, do something, contribute to the children, the United Nations, or to the kids in Afghanistan, or whatever it is. Do something, send a check, actually physically do something. Now, that to me, that action that you're taking for somebody else, that is a prayer. I would call that a prayer. That would be my definition of a prayer. But this business, holy, holy, holy Jesus, whatever it happens to be, whoever it happens to be, doesn't matter what the religion it is, it's a joke. Because it's not a joke. It's the person doing it. It can be very, very serious, and they can be extremely serious, and sore knees, they're so serious. I can remember my father, and he used to try and get the family after our evening meal, and we'd go into the main bedroom, and my sister and myself and my brother and my father, and we'd kneel down on the floor, and we'd recite Our Father and the Hail Marys. I've even forgotten. I can't even recite them these days. And it'd be one after the other, after the other. My God, after the third one, my mind wandered off somewhere else. And I thought, and then he said, okay, that's enough. And, thank God. So anyway, and thank the Lord, it never went beyond a few weeks anyway, and he'd started again, but even he got bored with it. What we were praying for, who knows what. That's what it was called, the rosary. And people do that all the time now, and they're very serious about it, and I, but this asking for something, praying for world peace, praying to end poverty, praying to end wars. The Pope is praying, or it doesn't matter who it is, I shouldn't single anyone out. To me, it simply doesn't work. On the other hand, if you send positive thoughts towards somebody, you hope he gets on better with his wife, his dog, his cat. If you've got somebody that you don't like, and you actually send that person that you don't like, or there's a situation, and you just say, well, look, we've got this problem, but I wish you all the best. In all honesty, I don't agree with you. I don't like what you're doing, but I really wish you well, and I wish that you. This is sending positivity off. This is energy. This works, but because it's coming from you, and you mean it, and you're sending it out to that person, to the world. That has power. In previous videos, I've mentioned. I'll say it again. This friend of mine, she's from Pakistan, and it's a good story, so I'll repeat it. And what happened, she said she was going there to see her parents. They were alive at the time, and her brother, and his wife and their children. But she said, when I get over there, she said, I'm going to give that sister-in-law of mine, I'm going to give her the biggest tongue lashing she's ever had. She said, when I was there last time, whenever I wanted to have a little bit of private time with my brother, she'd send him down the shops to buy something, or get him to go and put the washing machine and put the stuff in the washing. But she just kept us apart. She said, so at the end of the fortnight, I never really had a chance to talk to my brother. She said, it's not going to happen this time. I'm going to get stuck into her, and I'm just going to, And I said, look, Sarah, all I know is anger begets anger. I said, look, why don't you, just as an experiment, send your sister-in-law, just send a positive message that she's really getting on well with your brother, that the kids are well, that one of the kids was autistic, and that the child is getting over its autism and is having educated, the right education for it. Just doesn't matter what it is, but send out positive thoughts towards your sister-in-law, instead of the fact that you're going to really bite her head off when you get back to Pakistan in a couple of weeks. She said, okay, sure, I'll do it tonight. 8:30 the next morning, I'm not really operating before 9 o'clock. I'm having breakfast and this and that, but there was this phone call, and it was my friend, Sarah, and she said, look, she said, I just had to tell you. She said, my sister-in-law has never, ever, not once has she ever phoned me. But last night I did as we said. I sent over, I don't think she told me the time, 10, 15 minutes or whatever it was. She sent over all these messages of positivity, positive messages, and she sent them over to her sister-in-law. She said, my sister-in-law rang me this morning and said to me, Sarah, when you come back in a couple of weeks and you return to Pakistan, I'm going to make sure that that next 2 weeks is the best 2 weeks you've had over here. She said, this is coming from my sister-in-law. She said, John, I just had to ring you. I'm sorry about that. It's so early, but because I just got off the phone for her. She rang me. She said, it really worked. Okay. It's a story, but it's a true story. And I can give you others. So, if you want to send out positive thoughts towards somebody, you're creating, to start with, this is power, and you're sending it out, but it's power coming from you. And you're sending it out to another human being. And that will, whatever, how it affects them, who can say, but it will have an effect, a positive effect. Ambush them with love if there's someone you're having a problem with. But when you think, when you're negative thoughts and you're in worry mode, or worrying about this and worrying about that, this time you're worrying about somebody over there. You know, I told this friend, I said, look, you're worrying about your granddaughter. I said, but you're not doing that person a favour. You're sending out negativity towards that person. You're sending out negative energy. And believe me, do you really think that's going to happen? No. Think positive thoughts about that thing. Think positive thoughts about your grandchild for the future and what a wonderful life she could have, and she does this and she's that. Send out positivity. There's people everywhere helping and assisting other people. Some are working for a charity, some are giving their time, some send money, others just knock on the door to a friend that they know and give them something that they feel they might need. This is actions. Now, you do that, each of those actions, now that's a prayer. That's a prayer. But quite apart from that, what you are doing, you're building up good karma. Everything that you do that's positive and good is bringing up, is going to give you one way or another good karma, good positivity. It will come back to you in the future. This is the way it works. Now, it's nothing to do with spirituality, it's nothing to do with any deity, this god or this person, that person. This is simply karma. For every action there's an opposite and equal reaction. This is karma. Now, religions, a number of Eastern religions have karma, and if you hurt that person, you're going to get hurt at the same time as punishment. No. Karma is there to teach us. We hurt somebody in a certain manner, you're really nasty to that person, and suddenly some nastiness comes to you, you're copying back that little bit of karma. But it's there to teach you, hey, better not to do that. So it's there, karma is there to teach, karma is there to give understanding. It's not there to punish somebody. Even the Egyptians had their scale, you know, that when a person died, they worked out all the good things and all the bad things, and depending on that, you went here or you went there. Well, that's judgment and punishment or reward. So that's quite different to karma. Karma is simply, you can store good karma, and you can also store karma, negative karma. That's up to you. That's how you live out your life. That's your own choices about what you do and what you don't do. So, Henri de Nemours, I mentioned him before, and he was my friend's guide, spirit guide. And he said, he used to call me Matthias, because that was my Cathar name. And he said to my friend Jim, or Guillaume, he said, Matthias says prayer is transcendental begging, which I mentioned before. And he said, he's partially right. But he did say to me, he did say to Jim, who passed it on to me, He said, look, he's partially right. Yet at the same time, he said, it's better to pray than not to pray. Now, Henri de Boers was a Cathar prefect, and he knows, and he's a guide, and I certainly bow to him with his knowledge and so forth. But I haven't personally seen the efficacy of prayer. I haven't seen anyone's prayers answered. I think the fact that someone prays, that you're going into a space whereby you are trying to connect with the divine, although it's supposed to be some deity or some saint. So, it's okay. Why not? The fact that you're taking that silence and doing that, okay, that's I suppose that's positive. But to me, if you meditate, if you try and gather silence, if you're going to receive guidance, to my mind, and how it's worked for me and some others that I know, if you can bring stillness into your life, often I'm just going to the shower, and there's a nice hot shower, and my mind's blank. I'm just enjoying the shower and enjoying the hot water come down, and this is delicious, and my mind's in nowhere. My mind's completely blank, and it's often then I get this message, okay, because I've switched off. Other times that I often receive messages at night when I'm sleeping, because my conscious mind is switched off. But other times I tend to get it. I'm just waking up, but I'm not awake. I'm not asleep, and yet I'm not awake. And it's at that in-between period, and that's the period that I personally often receive information about something I should do or shouldn't do, or something that's sometimes it's more of a spiritual aspect or mystic aspect. So, for prayer, I can see it being good in the fact that most people go somewhere private and still and to pray. And in that respect, I think that's a good thing. I just think praying to anybody, and especially for yourself, well, look, maybe it works for you. You know somebody it's worked for. I can't say I've ever ran into it, ever. I don't pray. I simply don't pray. It doesn't cross my mind to pray. I don't see the point of it. Haven't for the last 60 years. But what I do, and what I think is a good idea, is to get time for yourself and really think about what is it that you really believe. What do you stand for? What are you here for? What's your purpose in life? Just examine, who am I? What do I really believe? If you believe in something, then by all means affirm your belief. I believe in guidance. I believe I have spirit guides. I talk to them. They talk to me. Not always the way I want, and sometimes not as clear as I want. But one way or another, they get the message to me. If there's something there's something that's really meant to happen, it will go on. If I'm doing a YouTube and it's just not working, that camera will switch off, or the sound didn't work. One way or the other, it's not going to get across. And I go, okay, fair enough. And I think, oh yeah, I went off on a tangent there. I really wanted to speak about that, and I really didn't speak about that. That's okay. They sent me a message. I got it. I believe that's just. They're not going to write me a letter, so therefore the sound didn't work or whatever. So one way or another, they'll get the message through to you. Am I suggesting to you or to anyone else that you shouldn't pray? No. Do what you like. You know, whatever you feel is good for you, that's what you should be doing at this point in time. If you want to change your mind later based on experience, that's fine too. I'm just telling you, as far as I'm concerned, to me, it's probably the greatest single waste of time that you can have. But at the same time, I respect people who pray. And if they're praying to some higher deity, I just don't see that it works. On the other hand, if you spent that same time, that 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour that you spent praying, and you spent that time thinking good thoughts and positive thoughts about some situation that's concerning you, and especially if it's a person, or even if it's an animal. That animal, if that animal is in pain, what I would be doing, I would be putting my hands on the animal and thinking about the pain going away, my guidance or something assisting me, or just the powers I have within myself to try and help that animal. I wouldn't be asking for St. Anthony to help that animal. No, you want to help the animal? You do it. I believe you have the power. I believe when you pray, you're dissipating the power that you have. You're giving it to somebody else. I haven't seen it work anyway. But if you try and heal, most people have never even tried. But sometimes there could be an animal or it could be a situation. And just putting your hands and just sending loving thoughts, loving healing thoughts into that person where that pain is, you find, hey, the person says, hey, I don't have that pain anymore. Hey, are you a healer? Yes, you are. We are all healers. Even animals have the capacity to heal. But no one tries it. Try it. You could be surprised. I don't suggest that you start with a person with a large brain tumour, but better there than nothing. But we have these powers. And if you do that, that to me is a prayer. Because it's coming from you. You are offering that love, that positivity, that healing, positive thoughts, no whatever it is, but it's coming from you. And that has power. For you to pray, Saint Anthony, Saint Mary, whatever, whoever it happens to be that you want to pray to, you're giving the other person. You're saying, hey, I've got nothing. You've got the power. Would you do that? No. No. I've never seen it work. But if people heal, I've said to two people, or one person, and I said to her, look, I really believe that you've got healing hands. Yeah, it's Monica, and boy, oh boy, she got healing hands. She's great. Not only that, when she puts her hand on a certain area of your body, she can feel, oh, that's cold. She can feel there's no energy going through there. It's really come on. But it was my suggestion to her to try it. And then it's just growing and growing. And then she's got confidence. Now, when you do the healing, in her case, in my case, we are not healing. What's happening? Healing comes from the source, but we have our guides and our people and loved ones on the other side, and they assist us. And we are merely a conduit. And we go through it and we put our hands. I don't touch people. I keep my hands at least 3 or 4 or 6 inches or whatever. I don't measure it near that person, and you can feel it. Even now I'm talking, I can feel my hands start to heat up. But we all have it. You know, it's a gift we're all given. Some more than others, but it's something that can be developed. People go to Reiki, do Reiki classes, but that healing is there. The Reiki classes are helping you develop that and so forth. But you understand it's not me, it's not that healing is coming from the outside. It's in the power is coming through. But we're the conduit, and it's going through us to that other person. It might be an animal, could be anything. It could be a plant. If the plant's not doing too well, and you put your hands around it, they've done it many times. They've had plants, and they put it in the same soil, and they have seeds. And what they do is they, at a school or whatever, where they want to show people the power, they say of prayer. It's not prayer. And what they do is they curse, and they say, oh, I don't like you, I don't want you to live to those particular plants there. These are the plants, they just offer them love. We want you to grow healthy and so forth. But they're doing it to the plants, negatively and positively, and the ones with the positive plants grow. Now, anybody can do this, and it's been done over and over and over and over, so there's no argument the fact that it does that. And in fact, they said they've worked out, they say, oh, this person's got a green thumb, because when they work with plants, the plants seem to thrive and grow. They said, so they've worked out with these different people who've got a green thumb and the ones that don't have a green thumb, and where the plants grow and thrive, and the others, with other people, they don't seem to work at all. And they found out what it was, that the people who had this green thumb, they simply loved plants. They loved their plants, and they showered that love onto the plants, and the plants responded. And that's the green thumb. And the green thumb is just love, the positivity of love. And they literally love their plants, and the plants thrive. Mystery solved. I don't care how much and who prays that the pandemic ends, that a drought ends, that the rains come. I've yet to see it work. If you, on the other hand, send out positive, loving thoughts and direction, it's coming from you, and you're sincere about that. You mean it, and you're sending it out. Yes, just like Sarah and her daughter-in-law. The last time I was some years ago, and I'm on the first floor, but across the road they had three, as it turned out, were three young Alsatian pups. My, oh my. I knew they'd arrived because they never stopped yelping. Literally 24 hours a day. They were just yelping. They were outside there. Anyway, I thought, what does one do when you've got dogs like this? Can you go and see the council and get them to do something about it? And I am going through these various options. Then I said, oh, come on. I advise other people about the power of thought, about doing it yourself. So I was around about, I don't know what time it was, 9 or 10 o'clock at night, but I wanted to go to bed and sleep, and here was these dogs yelping away. And so I sat down, and I literally I knew they were in a kennel, because I checked. And then I literally imagined that wooden kennel was surrounded by this beautiful white light. I choose white, choose some other colour. And that, my thoughts went over, and what I said was that the people who have you, your masters, the people who own you, they really love you. Even though you're outside, they love you. They want you to be happy and secure, and they want you to feel calm and peaceful. And there were just thoughts like this that I sent over for 10, 15, 20, I can't remember, but I sent those thoughts over, and again, they're surrounded by this beautiful white light. By the time I've actually finished setting those thoughts, the dogs had actually stopped yelping. So that was okay. Slept that night. The next morning, still no dogs yelping. And I thought, what's going on? You know, are they gone? So I went over. There's a crack between the fence. I looked in. I could see the dogs. And they were there. There's 3 little pups, and they were not yelping. And they were just dogs being dogs. And that was it. I never heard a yelp out of them again. Now, am I saying if you do that, is it going to work? I don't know. But I said, all I'm suggesting is you do something like that. That has power. That is you, your power. For whatever reason, the power that you have, that you can do something about the situation. And I've seen it work. But I've this business of St. Michael, St. Anthony, whatever, please give me this or give me that, and please do this or do it for this person or that person. No. I've yet to see, well, maybe you have, I haven't. And I can only go on my life experience. So I'm just talking about this. So look, as Henri de Boer said, it's better to pray than not to pray. Well, I don't particularly, is Cathar perfect? I bow to Henri's wisdom, and he's and he knows far more about things than I do. But I haven't seen it. But I have seen the power of love, the power of positivity, when people want to heal with others, myself. This has real power and has results. And that's what I want. When it's all boiled down, what's the results? If there's a person with some pain and discomfort, headache, whatever it is, and you put your hands there and you literally, the colours I use, by the way, that I use, so when I'm thinking about healing and I think about these, I realise this is love. If you're doing, look, the very fact of healing somebody, it's a loving act. So that's obvious. But the colours that I got from a Cathar point of view are sapphire blue, sea green and turquoise. So when I'm doing a healing, I always imagine sapphire blue, sea green and turquoise, and they also help focus my thoughts, and that's the colours that I feel that's going through me as a conduit into that person and so forth. This is power. If I'm going to pray, that's how I pray. If there's a situation that's not going well and there's a person involved, and I'll send that person out thoughts, love, whatever it is, positive things about the person, really good things that I would hope and wish for that person. That will do me instead of this type of business. I've yet to see the power of prayer either start a war or end one. Talk again. Bye for now.